All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about the one question everyone has about AI. What's it going to do to our jobs? Now, you probably think you know the answer. Robots take over, mass unemployment, the whole deal. But that's not the full picture, not by a long shot. In fact, for the next few years, things are about to get a whole lot weirder and a lot more intense. So this is the big one, right? The fear that keeps people up at night. Is AI going to just delete the job market? It feels like it could happen. It's a totally logical fear. But here's the twist. If you look at history, that's not what's coming. At least, not first. Yeah, you heard that right. The exact opposite. Before AI lets us all kick our feet up, it's actually going to create more work for us. Way more. I know, it sounds nuts, totally backward, but this isn't some wild guess. It's a pattern we've seen before, an economic quirk that's been around for over a century and a half. So, to really wrap our heads around what's happening with AI, we need to rewind way back. We're talking the 1860s, the heart of the Industrial Revolution, with its grime, its power, and its coal. Okay, so there was this guy, William Stanley Jevons, and he saw something that just didn't make any sense. See, these new steam engines were incredible, super efficient. They could get way more power from a single lump of coal. So you'd think, great, we'll use less coal. But no, the opposite happened. Because energy was suddenly so cheap, people went crazy inventing new ways to use it. Trains, factories, you name it. And total coal use went through the roof. More efficiency didn't lead to less use. It led to an explosion in demand. That's the Jevons paradox. Now, fast forward to today, and this is where it all clicks into place. Just swap out coal for thinking, or cognitive energy if you want to be fancy. AI is making the basic building blocks of knowledge work, analyzing stuff, writing code, drafting reports, ridiculously cheap and efficient. And just like with the steam engine, because thinking is getting cheaper, we don't want less of it, we want infinitely more. Our demand for it is just exploding. And you know what? We don't even have to go back to the 1800s. We've seen this play out in our own lifetimes. Remember the spreadsheet? Before Excel and BusyCalc, can you imagine what financial modeling was like? It was a nightmare of manual calculations. Then, boom, the spreadsheet comes along and automates all that grunt work, the easy part of the job. And check this out, the numbers tell the whole story. Sure, the spreadsheet got rid of about 400,000 bookkeeping jobs. Those were the routine, manual calculation roles. But, and this is the key part, because financial modeling was suddenly cheap and fast, companies wanted way more of it. They wanted complex forecasts, deep strategies, all the hard stuff. And that created a demand for 600,000 times new jobs for financial analysts. Better paying, more strategic jobs. See, it didn't kill the field, it totally leveled it up. This whole idea completely demolishes something economists call the lump of labor fallacy. It's this gut feeling a lot of us have that there's only a fixed amount of work in the world, like a pie. But that's just not how it works. History shows us again and again that new technology doesn't just steal slices of the pie, it makes the whole pie bigger, creating new kinds of work we never even thought of. And AI, it's the ultimate pie expander. Okay, so if AI is taking over all the easy, routine brain work, what's left for us? Well, this is where it gets interesting. The value doesn't just vanish, it shifts. It flows to the stuff that, for now, only a human can bring to the table. And we're really talking about three big things. First up, accountability. An AI can write a legal document, but it can't go to jail if it messes up. A human has to be the one to sign their name on the dotted line and take the heat. Then there's strategy. An AI can crunch all the data in the world, but it doesn't have real-world gut instinct. We provide the context. And finally, there's the physical and emotional stuff. An AI might pass the medical exams, but it can't hold a patient's hand or navigate a messy hospital room. That's us. So this brings us to the most important question for you, for your career, right now. You have to ask yourself, is AI coming for the easy parts of my job or the hard parts? If it's automating the tedious stuff like data entry for an accountant, then congratulations. Demand for your real skills, your strategic thinking, is probably about to go way up. But if AI is automating the thing that makes your job hard, like how GPS automated knowing the entire city map for a taxi driver, then you've got a problem, because that core value is disappearing. But here's the thing, and this is the critical turn. This whole boom, this era of more and more human work created by AI, it has an expiration date. It's not going to go on forever. because even the Jevons paradox eventually hits a wall. That explosion in demand for AI we've been talking about, it's already slamming into some very real, very physical limits. You just can't have exponential growth forever in a finite world. The system is starting to show some serious strain.
And I mean serious strain. Look at this. First, power. We literally don't have enough electricity. Some estimates say data centers could be eating up a fifth of all US power by 2030. Then you've got the chips. We can't make these advanced semiconductors fast enough. And get this, it's wild. The AIs are literally running out of internet to learn from. They're running out of human-made text and images. These are hard physical limits, and they are absolutely putting the brakes on things.
So where does this all lead? Well, the experts tend to see the next decade or so playing out in 3 stages. We're in phase 1 right now, the agentic awakening. AI is like a helpful but sometimes clumsy intern. That's going to lead to phase 2, the always-on economy, where these AI agents start working together 24/7. But the real destination, the point where the music stops, is phase 3, the economic singularity. And this is the end game. It's the moment where the rules that have governed work and the economy for all of human history just break. Don't let the sci-fi name fool you. The economic singularity is a pretty straightforward concept. It's simply the point when a general AI, an AGI, becomes capable of doing pretty much any job you can think of, better and cheaper than a human. And at that exact moment, the Jevons paradox, the engine that was creating more human work, completely shatters. Why? Because when a super smart AI creates a new task, it doesn't need to hire you to do it. It just does the new work itself. It becomes the supply and the demand. So, the billion-dollar question, when is this happening? Well, the forecasts are all over the place, but they're also uncomfortably close. If you look at the betting markets, like Metaculus, the average prediction for a 50-50 shot is around 2033. If you ask AI researchers themselves, you get a more conservative 2047. But look, either way you slice it, we're talking about something that is very likely to happen in the next 10 to 20 years. This isn't a problem for our grandkids, it's for us. And here it is, the single most profound consequence of all of this. For the first time in history, the creation of economic value, of wealth, of stuff, will no longer need people. That fundamental bargain that has defined society forever, your time and effort in exchange for survival, it just evaporates. So what on earth do we do? Well, the conversation has to change. It can't be about protecting jobs anymore. It has to be about designing the transition to a world after jobs. That means talking seriously about things like UBI, not as a handout, but as a dividend everyone gets from this incredible automated economy. It means using AI to spot who's going to be hit hardest and helping them first. And it means we have to start valuing the things that only people can do for each other: care, community, creativity. Which leaves us with one final massive question. For our entire history, what we do has been who we are. Our jobs give us purpose, identity, value. If you take that away, what's left? If work isn't necessary to live, how do we figure out what it means to live a valuable life? That's the real challenge. And maybe, just maybe, the greatest opportunity we've ever had.